Hello, my name is David Aki, and I'm doing another video, this time on Mindset, the new psychology of success by Dr. Carol S. Dweck. And I thought no better place to do this video, late September, Lake Tahoe with Homewood Mountain Resort in the background. I was the general manager for Homewood Mountain Resort for 6 years. And as we look at the surrounding of Lake Tahoe and the people out enjoying the lake, I want to focus on the two mindsets that Dr. Dweck describes in her book. Fixed mindset and a growth mindset. Myself trying to do another video and trying to learn how to do presentations and how to do editing and working with video keeps me in a growth mindset. Going to school for the last 3 years, finishing my undergraduate degree, and now attempting graduate school, being a GA, trying to find different ways to keep myself in a growth mindset. So much in life that we focus ourselves and get stuck in a fixed mindset. Very similar to Quinn's book that we just finished in the previous video, where we had the normal state of leadership and the fundamental state of leadership. And we have a tendency to be stuck into the normal state, as this book takes it in a little different direction, but parallels, where we end up being in a more fixed mindset, human nature. And there are those that from early childhood have adapted that growth mindset. For myself, and using some introspection, I would agree that I'm more of a fixed mindset, and I'm trying to constantly move and stay in a growth mindset, depending on the situation, depending on the different scenario, that either I am in that fixed mindset or a growth mindset. And how do I view success and how do I view failure all determines of what mindset that I'm in. With Squaw Valley in the backdrop behind Lake Tahoe on the west shore, it's just another fitting. It reminds me back in being in the ski industry, and the two findings that Dr. Dweck discusses in mindsets is one, finding one in success, and how does that bring out the best in you? How does success by doing your best, and how do you measure success? I remember years ago doing a clinic for ski instructors on defining what success is, and it started with the passion, trying to be better, to improve yourself, and being in a constant learning environment and growth. I always had fun with, earlier in my years, people would ask me, well, what school did you go to? And I would say, oh, I went to ski school, but it was still an environment for learning and how to develop the sport, try to be the best, and be able to, teaching techniques that you would be able to share that with the customer and other people, and really just being out there and sharing. And that's what success is. It's not a measurement of how much money you make or if you're better than everybody else, which has a tendency to be more in a fixed mindset, when you do need, daily recognition, or you need to, compete and be better than everybody else. And when you're more focused on yourself and your own ego and how it benefits you, that's a tendency to be more in this fixed mindset, very similar to being stuck in the normal state of leadership. And with a growth mindset, which you're constantly trying to improve and learn and develop and being challenged, and when failure comes your way, as it may be in my finance class where I'm struggling, or any of the classes in the graduate level where I find myself all of a sudden struggling to stay even keel, if you will, or with everybody, the other students, staying into that growth mindset, not measuring your value, your growth on how, being better than everybody else. Trying to continue to grow and learn and try new experiences. Once again, doing a video, seeing yourself on video, how you speak, how you present, the backdrop, the headshot, close or back. Those are the types of challenges that keep us in that growth mindset. Throughout my career in different areas, I've had a lot of disappointments, failure, and what triggers you to make a move. for me going back to school, going into receivership, not staying on with another company. All of a sudden having to be faced with disappointment or how life was what you thought was expected to go in one direction. All of a sudden you find yourself faced in needing to move in another direction. And voila, here we are at UNR, University of Nevada, Reno, from Lake Tahoe to being on campus at UNR. Managing ski areas, skiing, building houses, to going to school full time. I spoke earlier about failures or disappointments, but equally and more are the successes. And the successes that I was fortunate to have, if it was from skiing and PSIA, becoming involved with the examination, being president, actually managing the organization for 4 years, the education and certification, managing ski areas, just being able to grow and helping others along the way. And that's what allowed me to find these opportunities, or the opportunities found me. It was staying in that growth mindset. But we need to be careful as far as we are our successes and as we are growing, that we don't fall back into a fixed mindset. And all of a sudden we start comparing ourselves to others. Am I better? And we're rewarding the accomplishment or the talent or the success and not looking at the effort. And that's what starts to distinguish between the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. Early age and with children, are we always focused in on their accomplishments? When I was a child and playing the piano, was I mistake-free? It was always a competition. As I grew up, everything was competing, trying to be better. Skiing, whatever, sports. I wasn't a great baseball player, that's why I stayed with skiing. They used to call me ballerina because as the ball came, it would swing and I would spin around home plate. But as soon as we start to compare and rewarding everyone on their talents, we have a tendency then to give up and not try, or not want to continue and put in the effort because it's expected. It's supposed to come easy. And so we have to define ourselves when we are entering the growth mindset and being aware, having that reflection upon ourselves and understanding ourselves, and when we fall into the trap of being in the fixed mindset or being in the growth mindset. And that's the reflective action that Quinn was talking about in building the bridge as you walk on it, or being in the normal state back into the fundamental state. Are we in a fixed mindset, or are we in that growth, learning, trying to be the best and being more concerned with growing as an individual, not looking at the results? Earlier I mentioned about being in graduate school and trying to stay even keel with everybody else. And as I was reviewing back the video to that point, I realized that all of a sudden now I'm measuring myself compared to everybody else, instead of really looking at myself and what the growth potential there is for me as an individual and how do I continue to grow. And that's what keeps us into that growth mindset. So I challenge everybody to look at their position, how they view their perspective. Are you in a fixed mindset, or are you in a growth mindset? So when we think about successes and failures, failure really is not reaching your potential. It's giving up, not trying, not allowing yourself to be in that growth mindset. Very similar to what Quinn spoke about, a slow death, entropy. Instead, we need to stay into that growth mindset, finding opportunities, looking for ways to challenge, grow, develop, and more importantly is to strive to be the best person that you can be, try to give to others, and really be externally open and looking at ways to broaden your horizon and stay in a growth mindset.